Hey Professor, this is Daniel Goodrum with my sprint update for this week. I had some issues with the terrain visualizer, and so I'll get started with what I got done, and then I'll talk about some other stuff. Um, so for first off, I was able to get the terrain generation. If you look at this video, you can see all the terrain, um, all that good stuff. For the collision on it, I have it working for a couple of the items. I didn't get it working for the fourth task. Um, so here you can see I have uh, my frigate, and if I use a spacebar, it'll go up, and then he won't be colliding anymore. So this does both the bounding sphere first, and then the AABB, um, or whatever the collidable is for that object. Um, it's not changing colors because it's overriding itself, I think. Um, because I have it doing the one call to check for the bounding sphere, and if the bounding sphere collides, then it checks for the AABB in this case. Um, and I have like the everything to talk about, like the point that is over, and that kind of stuff. Um, some of the issues that I have, I don't think my normals are correct. Um, my position computing is fine, but I don't have the correct normals because when I was messing with some lighting terrain, it was every block had the normals off, so I need to go back and figure that out. And I didn't get around to doing the barycentric stuff. Um, and then I also was able to get the recording for uh, the key for the input commands. So, I mean, you can see down here that all this says is, I think my idea worked. So what I did was I created a key logging system here. It's just a singleton. Um, and then what it does is when the game is started in Rum Engine, um, it is determined what type you want to do. So, like in this case, I'm doing live keys. Then the initialize. So then if I go there, it sets an enumeration to live keys. And so what that does is I made a base for it. So it has live keys. I have a key base and then a live key. I haven't done the active yet, or sorry, the passive where it's just playing in playback mode. So my live keys, what it does is it takes every key that's on the keyboard enumeration and makes and goes. So I have two arrays. One is just a Boolean array, and one is an int array that corresponds to all the enumeration values in the in the keyboard class. It goes through once every update cycle from the engine and scans every one of them and sets a bool either to true or false. Right now, I just have it pulling straight from the keyboard for this because I didn't want to scan it again. Because I figured it's scanning it in the keyboard too, but I went through and I verified that all the values are correct. Um, this clear thing doesn't really matter. But then so it's creating an output file. Here, my output keys, and every time it resets it, and so what it does is it's just writing, and it's writing the size of the array in the Boolean array into the output file. And so then what my idea is, once I start it back up, once it initializes, every update call, it'll reset it to it'll pull one chunk of that and set it as the array, and then because I made it a struct, and it'll use that as the input. And so I already have everything get it using this get key state. So once I do it, because this is just this is an overridden class, so it'll just pull from the other one, and it should work fine. So I think that's good. My video is getting a little long-winded, but yeah. So I made some pretty good progress on this, and it's outputting and everything like it should. Other than that, that's all I got for this week. Thank you.